Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iPad today is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com. It's time for Twit's annual audience survey, and we want to hear from you. Please visit twit.tv/survey and let us know what you think. It only takes a few minutes, and your anonymous feedback will help us make Twit even better. We thank you so much for your continued support. twit.tv/survey.
Coming up, Adobe has a new app that lets you tell your story, but is it better than what's already out there?
Plus, happy 5th birthday iPad. We got you a pony. We know you always wanted one. How to watch movies from the cloud, and a pepper shaker that will return normalcy to your family dinner.
Or will it? All that on iPad today.
iPad Today is brought to you by Gazelle, the fast and simple way to sell your used gadgets. Find out what your used iPhone, iPad, or other Apple product is worth at gazelle.com. Oh, here we are once again, iPad Today, with our new regular host, Megan Morrone.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Now.
And
yes.
for those tuning in saying, where's Sarah Lane? She got a job at TechCrunch and is now doing a show called iPad This Morning. So if you, no, she's not doing that yet. But you can't yet. But she is doing some good news shows there and part of the video production team over at TechCrunch TV. So we wish Sarah all the best.
Yes.
But meanwhile, I'm so thrilled because Megan Morrone is a very old, dear friend on the Screensavers.
Old and dear.
Old
Both
and
of those
dear.
things
Known her for years. And one of our original Twit show hosts.
Yes. Yeah, back in the 2008, 2007 maybe? Yeah, back when it was even before the big cottage. We were in the little cottage.
The little cottage.
There was a stair and there was the bathtub in the... Remember? It was like your office and then there was inexplicably a bathtub right there.
That was never mind. I tricked her into coming to my house. No, that was the cottage upstairs, because the cottage that we were originally in and that Jumping Monkeys, your fabulous show, was produced in, was a bed and breakfast before it became our offices. And so unaccountably, I had a shower in one office. There was a clawfoot tub in another one, and but it was fun working there. But we outgrew it. And
yes.
Now we have our lovely space here.
Yes.
But enough travels down memory lane.
Right. We like to tell stories.
That's kind of our subject today, isn't it? Storytelling.
Yes, with the apps.
So this all got kicked off because Adobe announced a new app, which I haven't played with. Have you played with it yet?
I have played with it. It's called Slate, and it's a brand new app.
Terrible name.
Yeah, I guess it's like the blank slate, and I'll write your name in it, you know.
Because I have trouble remembering it because I don't really, but this is so you can create kind of like a storybook out of this?
Yes, you can, your vacation
stories.
stories.
Your screen's a little angled.
Which way would you like it?
Well, look at this. See the other,
like
there,
that?
that's good.
I see.
It's like hanging a picture.
Yes. Yeah. So here's a few projects that I've already created. My daughter is having her 12th birthday tonight. She's 12. I know. That's what I left the Screensavers 12 years ago. So I created this super easy. It took 5 minutes.
Look how beautiful Annabella
There she is. When she was born. She was already reading.
Megan was frequently pregnant on the Screensavers.
I was frequently pregnant on the Screensavers, yes. So not only can you do pictures, you can add links. So like I kept the Jumping Monkeys blog, and so
that's
I
nice.
could link. Let's hear.
Now, does this live in the cloud, or is this on an? This is an app.
Yeah, and then you can share it. And when you share it, it will say like brought to you. It'll say like from Adobe Slate. It has their advertising on it.
But the program's free.
The program is free. You have to either have an Adobe ID or you have to sign in with Facebook.
Okay.
So here's where the editing, it's pretty easy. And then here, if I preview, I can show you that I just added just pictures and links.
And then it does the arrangement, or did you have to arrange it?
I arranged it. It doesn't. It's not fully featured. I wouldn't say. So see, I just linked to her little birth announcement that I put on there. So I like it. I don't love it. I don't necessarily think, I mean, we have a few others that
will show.
Can
you put video in there?
You can put links to video.
But not actual playback
So you can
video.
put a photo, you can add text, a link or a photo grid.
Okay.
And the photo grid doesn't have a lot of features. And so it'll show you here that this was like not a great picture, so it'll show you, the little, it's not good quality.
Can I show you what I consider to be a better choice?
Yes.
Would you be interested in that?
I would be interested in seeing a better choice. I have another better choice too. You go with your better
we've
choice.
used this before. We've showed this before, but I feel like it deserves more credit. It's called Storehouse. This is an iPad app. There are lots, and these are people's storehouses. I can go back to my home and see. I could find my own storehouses.
Those aren't yours.
These are all online. You also have comments, so people can follow me. This is my, if you want to follow me, my profile. And then I've put 3 stories on here. So I'll give you a couple. So I started very much like you did with Annabella's 12th. This is Henry's 13th birthday party. And that's how long ago this was. Very similar. In fact, I didn't put a lot of work into this. So what I got was a very simple kind of grid. You could put text in, and it makes a storybook. That's fine, but you're probably going to want to spend a little more energy on it. So I'll show you. This is a picture book that I did just recently with Lisa when we went to a very fun restaurant, Morrone Manor. But again, these are mostly just pictures. And it gives you, so this is very similar to Slate, but I'll show you, this is a more recent one. This is a recipe. And this is kind of interesting. For cooking, I put in the step-by-step pictures. Here's the recipe, but you can also put in video. It embeds video. So that's kind of cool. Like, for instance, this is a slow-motion video of adding the wheat bran to the bran muffins. I mean, that's just as an example of what you can do. But these were all shot on an iPhone, so it makes it very easy.
Ooh.
I was using the iPhone slow-motion thing. And yes, I was dressed as Santa when I did it. A lot of people noticed that.
Why not?
Because why not? And so I think this is a really nice tool. It's absolutely free. It's called Storehouse. And what's cool about it, is there's interactivity. So you're sharing it with, you can share it publicly. So you'll get comments. People can heart it. I can't because it's my own. And they can kind of re-Storehouse it. So this I think is a really really nice kind of like Instagram for stories. And if I go back home, you'll see there's a lot of stuff on here. People share them publicly. Malik uses it. So I don't know if you feel like let's see a week in Paris. A lot of good photographers. I think if you're a photographer, this would be a great place to show off your work as well. This is called Storehouse, and it is free on the iPad. And unfortunately, as wonderful as it is, and it's been around for a while, we've showed it a couple of times, it doesn't seem to really be going anywhere.
Yeah.
I wish it were, I really do.
It is interesting.
Yeah, this is an example. This is news, right? This happened last week, the explosion in East Village. It's taken a little while to load. It's probably very big photos. Anyway, Storehouse. What else you got?
All this reminds me of making the iPhoto books, which we did, for the kids. And it's, but we were talking before that they don't have that feature. I mean, you can make a photo book pretty easily, but
they used to have
the journaling feature,
which I
then
really
they took
liked.
away. And you said, you've been trying the new beta of Apple Photos.
It doesn't have the journaling.
It doesn't have the journaling.
Which is a shame because I really wish that would be part of it.
Yeah.
Do you upload to Google Plus? Do you upload photos to Google Plus?
I do, and so yes, that's the other app that we were talking about, the Google Plus, which there's an app for iOS, and they make the stories for you.
It has
you
a
have no
automated story feature.
So yeah, you just go into Google Plus, and then it wasn't that easy to find, I thought. At first I had to go to Photos, and then I could see all of my photos, and there were some stories that were already made in here. So here's like Sunday afternoon at Dillon Beach.
There you go.
And I did nothing except for take these pictures.
This is done automatically, although you can modify it.
Yes, you can. So yeah.
I love that. I love the
yes.
That's wonderful.
And yeah, and you can add a narrative, sunset. I wanted it to have different fonts and things like that, but you can't really do that.
No, although the advantage is if you use Google Plus, you could share it with other Google Plus people. Although, I really feel like Google Plus is kind of falling apart here.
Yes, and it does the auto awesome where it's like I took seven, you can't really tell, but they're sliding down on the dunes, and so it auto awesomed that.
I have
so yeah, it does
a story that you're in.
You do? Oh, is it a Segway story?
let's segue to my story.
Oh, I have a segue story too. So you tell your segue story, and then I'll tell mine.
So, and by the way, this when you go first use Google Plus, the Plus app, you do get a little bit of an explanation. Keep snapping away. We'll pick your best shots. That's done with a computer, so
it's not always my best. I think I don't
always
agree with the computer.
Your stories will have a sense of place if you turn on your location history, and you could tweak your stories to get them perfect. So, the new screens. Oops. They made up the name. I don't know where they got that from. But there's some good-looking fellas. So they show you where you went, right?
Right.
So that's the map. It's kind of silly. And then they show you the locations. I think they did a pretty good job. Now, this is sideways, so that's not good. I'd have to edit that.
And so to edit it, what do you do? And you can tag me in it too, right?
They actually have automatic face finding, I think.
Am I in there?
Let me see if I can. I really want to shift this around. Yeah, it seems like I should be able to do something, but I guess not.
I think that you have to touch the pencil.
What? I shot it sideways. That's my fault, right? There's one that's not. How about this? This is, I think, an auto awesome, or is it a video? It's a very quick video.
I think it was
Look
a
at that.
video.
Look at this. Father Robert. And you know what? What's great? It's a dolly shot on a Segway, because we're all riding those silly two-wheeled scooters that I can't. There you go. There's Megan checking her safety belt. She was the only one that had a seatbelt. I thought that was odd. And then, of course, that's our producer, Karsten Bonnie, who is working for eCurity. He's in eCurity.
You lost the S.
He's our eCurity
guard. We all fell off the Segways. That should be said. That should be noted.
Every one of us. And then Father Robert broke out his drone and took it for a little flight of the Golden Gate Bridge, where it was immediately shut down.
That was
the Forest Service.
That was not shut down, but Mike was recording with his Google glasses, which I guess you just call Google
And here's
Glass.
Bird saying me. So
I like the Google Plus stories way better than Slate, and I mean your Storify looks beautiful, but it just
this was
does
automatic,
it for you. Yeah, we don't have time to do it, and then these you share. If you use Google Plus, you could share it pretty easily, and if you don't, you can also share it pretty easily.
Sometimes you get weird names though, like Wednesday in Petaluma. Like, who cares?
Right.
But that's Annabella, right? Sunday.
Yeah.
You could say.
Yeah,
you could change that to Annabella's 12th birthday in Dillon Beach or something.
Right. So then it is you can get to it this way, and then you also have to click on highlights. You can also get it this way by going to stories.
Right.
And then it does all your stories there. So yeah, like Wednesday night in Petaluma, that was when it rained a whole lot and our tree fell down.
I'm thinking maybe nobody likes to do stories because
it takes a long time.
Well, but this is so easy, and it's there, and I don't know why people don't use more of it. Maybe because it is kind of hidden away.
I don't know. Maybe it's an instantaneous culture.
Yeah, we don't want anything like that.
Right. And so the edit, you just should do the pencil.
You have a Wednesday night in Petaluma too.
I do. Do you have a Wednesday night in Petaluma?
I just have a Wednesday day in Petaluma.
See, like here's a better picture of my dog. I don't want to use that one.
Yeah. See, I think this is a really nice system.
I love it.
And all the pictures are already there because if you use a camera phone and you have Google Plus on your camera phone, or you use your iPad to take pictures, don't do that. Well, you can do it, but it'd be better to not. You can.
To use your iPad to take pictures?
Oh man, I see so many people using iPads to take pictures.
I think it's fine.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
It is iPad today.
But I think it's good to know that this works just as well
as
on
long
an
as you upload
iPad
those
as
photos.
It does on an Android.
I even upload my digital camera photos to Google Plus, so everything's up there. So that's nice.
There are some other ones that you can do browser-based. There's one I just saw called thematic.co. I don't know.
You know what I really like? Have you seen Microsoft Sway?
Is that another storytelling?
This is a web-based one. This was this is Microsoft's kind of. It's like Microsoft Office. It is part of Microsoft Office that lets you make movies. And by the way, it's interesting because Microsoft is showing that it could be more than just a photo album. It could be for teaching. This is quadratic function graphing in Sway. Well, maybe there's nothing.
Like a presentation.
Maybe there's nothing in that presentation. I don't know. I show you how you create a new one. This is all, by the way, in Safari. This is web-based. So you can import photos from any one of a large range of cloud storage systems. So let's add a background here. And then they have some suggested backgrounds, but we can also go to OneDrive, OneNote, whoops, let's do that again. OneDrive, OneNote, Facebook, Bing, PicHit, I'm not even familiar with, YouTube, so you can add videos to this, Twitter, and if you click Add Source, it'll give you some more choices, including iCloud and Google Drive, and so forth. So actually, those are not yet available, but they want to work on them. And then you can add, and this is, of course, most important if you're working on an iPad, your own camera roll. So all the photos that you've ever taken are available here for this. Sway has a lot of nice features. You can make cards from. You can do. It's more like PowerPoint. Look, I have a nice wooden background. Ooh. So there's certainly a lot more you can do with this. I feel like there's a lot of potential here. Obviously, my Sway is not very exciting. Then you can Facebook it, tweet it. You can get a link that you can share otherwise, or even if you do this, embed this on your own web page. So I saw you had Jumping Monkeys, your web blog. You could just embed this. The Mary Jo Foley, I wonder if I can find hers, because she, of course, is the host of Windows Weekly, but she was just in Vietnam and did some beautiful sways from her trip to Vietnam. She kind of did this as a way to play with the thing, but as it turned out, I think these are remarkable. I mean, I think she just did this is a great way to, so there, you can see there's a certain similarity to all this stuff, but look at this. I mean, I like the live transitions. This is because it's kind of PowerPoint-y, right? And so you could put text in. You could pick any picture to look more closely at, obviously. So this is just, I think this is a really interesting photo album. This is kind of a generic template, but there are lots of others, as you saw, with wood and so forth, and different ways photos can come in, because it's PowerPoint-y. Right. It's presentation-y. I really like this. This is Sway, SAWAY.com. And if you have an Office 365 subscription, you sign into that. I don't even know if you have to have one to use this, but if you do, absolutely sign into it as I did, because then your stuff is saved. It can be used as part of your Office. I think this is pretty impressive. SWAY.com.
So yeah, there are a lot of products like this, a lot of websites, but it does, I mean, we've talked about Google's and we've talked about Adobe's and Microsoft. It makes sense to use a bigger company because you don't want to lose it. I mean, if it's just on some random website.
Yeah, Storehouse, I love.
Then what happens to your...
But I don't know, you know, I mean, they've been around for a while and not much is happening. And yeah. So I agree with you on that. Here's a handy little tip, by the way. If you're on Sway and you say, well, but this is a web app. Remember that in the early days of the iPhone, everything was a web app? Well, this is a web app, a pretty compelling web app. You just click that share button, and there's add to home screen. And what that's going to do is it's going to make an icon on your home screen. Not the most pretty icon, but an icon on your home screen that says Sway. So at that point, it looks very much like another app on your desktop. And when you click it, it automatically launches it in Safari. Let me show you one more. Do you ever journal? You seem like you're the kind of...
Like a scrapbooker?
No, like
a writing
Dear
journal?
Diary.
Yeah, of course.
Today Leo is mean to me.
Especially after this show,
Pulled my hair.
I have a lot to write about after this show.
This is a journal that gives you kind of a photo album called Day One. It's free. I really like this. It has a Macintosh version as well, and they tie together. So you can post on your phone, your iPad, or your Mac. I don't think they have a Windows version. And let's take a picture. Here, we'll take a photo of you, and then let's see, use the camera, yes. There's Megan, and I'm gonna put you in my journal, okay? Now you're in my journal. I'm gonna use this photo. Watch, this is good. And it says, yes, you can have access to that. And so I'm gonna add this to, it's already in there. I'm gonna say, today was Megan's first day hosting. Wasn't your first day ever, but kind of for reals.
For reals.
Right? And there's the picture. Now, the other thing that it does is you see, if I look at the timeline, I've been using this for a while, so I have some other things in here. You can also see things like maps. You can see the address, the location. I think this, if you've ever thought of journaling, this is private, and you can encrypt it, but it also makes an album of your life with pictures, maps, timelines, a calendar. So and you can even eventually go kind of timeline like a Facebook timeline by the years that you've used this. Obviously, not much happened in my life in 2013 and 14, but it's been a couple of big years there. This is called Day One. I really like this. And as you can see, if you sign into your Day One account, somehow it knew my Day One account, actually. I don't know how it did that. But if you sign into your Day One account, this is preserved, and it's cross-platform, so it will be saved on your desktop, accessible on your desktop and your laptop. I really like Day One.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it even does little reminders on your Mac. You haven't journaled today, would you like to do it? Or your iPad, would you like to journal?
Because, yeah, they say that journaling is really part of the keys to mental health.
They say that, and you know, you can see I've started a journal in 2012. I posted 7 things, nothing after that. And I feel like I never could keep going, you know?
But a reminder is good.
But that's one of the things that it'll help you, and it gives you some. It even has some suggestions and so forth. I like this a lot. You can email your entry to yourself. You can send a PDF. You can tweet about it if it's something really, public, cool. Day One.
All right. Well, everything is free, so try it out and see if you like it.
Steve C. in our chat room says, Day One got me back to journaling like actual paper journals never did. I keep wanting to do this because I wish I had a journal from 10, 20, 30 years ago.
Right.
I wish I had some entries from, the early days of Twit, 10 years old this month.
But isn't your Facebook and your Instagram and all that basically a journal?
Kinda. Yeah, I guess it is. I don't like Facebook for that. The nice thing about Day One is it's private, so you could say things like, today I had a lustful thought. Or whatever you don't want anybody to know.
So all the links to all of these apps and websites are all at twit.tv/iPad today or IPT.
IPT.
That's my first day.
You're asking with question mark in your voice.
I am.
There you are. There you are.
That's,
IPT. Twit.tv/IPT.
And yeah, we've got a birthday celebration. We've got news. We've got all kinds of things coming up. But first,
a word from Gazelle. Are you interested in getting a new phone, a new tablet, or maybe you broke your old phone and tablet? I've got a suggestion for you. You may say, wait a minute, Leo, you're confused. Gazelle buys my old gadgets. Yes, they do. And they give you top dollar for your old iPad, iPhone, even if they're broken, Samsung, BlackBerry. They buy tablets from Google, from Microsoft. Go to Gazelle.com, get a 30-day quote. It's locked in for 30 days. You don't have to pull the trigger for 30 days. That means you get time to decide, get the new gadget, transfer the data over, and they'll pay the postage, by the way, on checkout. Quickly turn it around. If you forget to wipe your data, they'll do it for you. And then they'll send you a check or give you a PayPal credit or Amazon gift cards, and they bump those up 5%. So that's the sell part. But you may ask, as I often have, what happens to all these wonderful slightly used gadgets? Well, Gazelle is now selling certified pre-owned iPhones and Galaxy phones and iPads at a very, very good price. They have 2 different qualities, certified like new and certified good. Okay, certified good devices show, a little gentle wear, but you're going to save even more money. Thing is, they're fully functional. Everything they sell, of course, has been put through a rigorous 30-point inspection to make sure everything works exactly right. And you're never at risk because certified pre-owned devices are backed by Gazelle's 30-day risk-free return policy. So to buy or to sell, Gazelle, they have sent out more than I think $200 million now in payments to people who sold their gadgets on Gazelle. It is great. Gazelle.com. No, they won't buy the Apple Watch yet.
I was going to ask that, but they probably will.
I'm sure they will. Yeah. In fact, that's kind of in a way when you buy something like the Apple Watch, it's nice to know that Gazelle's there so that when the time comes to upgrade, you have an easy way to get some cash for it and get the next device.
Right.
So keep that in mind, Gazelle.com.
All right, so we have the birthday celebration. May we do that after the news? What
yes,
do you think?
Let's do it. Let's celebrate.
There was not a lot of news. There was April Fool's Day, so there was a lot of that this week. But have you heard about the iPad vending machine?
No.
There's a.
Is that an April Fool's joke or real?
No, that is real. It's at Drexel University. They just brought it in there. They've done it with MacBooks, and it was successful.
Wait a minute. You give them a credit card?
Yeah, or you swipe if you're a university student, you just swipe your ID, which, you know.
And then mom and dad get the bill.
You use it for 4 hours. It's a lending library.
You're not buying it.
No,
you're borrowing
it's a lending library. Yeah, sorry, I
that's
should have made that clear. Vending machine sounds like selling. No, you use it for 5 hours, and then you return it, and then all your personal info is wiped off of there.
That's nice.
Yeah, and they've had success.
So that's like at the library?
Yeah, it's at the library, and I think people from the public, not just university students, can
Interesting
use it.
idea.
I think it is interesting. I like it, because, you know, that's what libraries are turning into.
One reason there's not a lot of news is because Friday, everybody's kind of, this is always there's a period in the world of Apple where everybody's just holding their breath because the new thing comes out. So what we have learned, and some of this is rumors and some of this is true, but and I don't know which. I think it's all basically true because at this point, it's hard to keep this stuff secret. 12:01, 1 minute after midnight, Friday, April 10th. That's Pacific time. You'll be able to go online and order an Apple Watch. That, if you want an Apple Watch on April 24th when they come out, seems to be the absolute only way to do it because on starting April 10th, you'll be able to make a 15-minute appointment to go in an Apple store, talk to an Apple genius. They'll show you the watch. You could pre-order from April 10th through the 24th, but don't expect, and this is what the latest stories have said, to walk into a store on the 24th or after and say, I'll take one of those. It's not going to be there. Apparently, the feeling is the supply is going to be very constrained, and that you may go in there, try it on, and then they'll say, oh, good, well, let's order that, and we'll have it shipped to you when it's available. So it's not going to be the kind of experience you have right now in most stores where you go in, you say, I want that one. See that one? I'll take that one.
Yeah, I read that, and I can't figure out why is it a security thing? Are they talking about that with the cheapest one? I mean, why won't they
why
just
couldn't you just buy it? I know,
yeah,
I
it's
agree.
way cheaper than a lot of the things they sell there, like the cheapest one is. So why can't I just go in?
I'm with you. I'm baffled. It's good marketing, right?
Yeah, you have to do it. Now it's on my to-do list.
It's good marketing. Maybe the supply is really constrained. Maybe they just don't have very many. I don't know.
They don't want to because they're not sure if it's going to be popular?
Part of it is that Apple really wants you to have an experience of shopping for the watch. Maybe they're afraid of people getting it and going, oh, and returning it.
Oh, it's not what I thought it was.
Yeah, so I think I'm not sure. It may also be, and this is, I think, we'll probably talk about this tomorrow on MacBreak Weekly as well, but here's what I know Rene Wishy will say, because I know Rene well. He'll say, no, it's because Apple wants you to have the best experience possible with a watch. They really aren't crazy about the idea of you just getting one in the mail and putting it on. They would like to spend some time with you to show you what it does. Because they feel like it's a new category, right? And that's going to be necessary for people to have high satisfaction level. So they just want a few minutes so they can say, okay, I doubled. They have started releasing videos if you want to watch videos.
Right.
And I'm doing that because I want to be ready. So you double tap. So here's how it works. So let me see if I remember this right. I've got the watch. There's 2 buttons on the watch, which is funny because that's twice as many buttons as on the big iPhone. But okay, there's 2 buttons on this little pillow on your wrist. One is a digital crown, kind of looks like a regular watch crown, but it's misplaced. It's up at the top. That you turn. Don't worry about that one right now. There's another button. You push that home button, and it pops up a circle with little icons for all your friends. You get to choose that, and you have to do that on your phone or your tablet. I guess you have to have an iPhone for this, right? You can't use an iPad.
I don't know. I did see an article that was like 9 things you can do without an iPhone on the Apple Watch.
But
mostly
you need
there's only 9 things you can do.
They say requires iPhone 5 or better, I think.
Which everyone in the world has an iPhone anyway, right? Who's going to get an Apple Watch? I'm just kidding. I know that everyone doesn't. It's an exaggeration. A lot of people have iPhones.
So you press the home button. I've added Megan Morrone to my friends, and if I tap your little tiny head, or I can screw, that's where you could use the crown to swirl around and then tap the head or push the button. Your card will open up with your picture, and it'll have 2 or 3 icons below it. It'll have a call and a message icon for everybody. If you have an Apple Watch, there'll be a finger icon in the middle. And
Which finger?
A finger, I believe it's your index.
Depending on how you feel about the person.
Finger, I'm not sure. It would be nice if you could choose a different finger for somebody. Like, that's not my friend. Anyway, it's a little finger there. You tap that finger. Now, finger stuff comes into play. I can draw you a picture. So I can draw, or, you know, somebody at Apple said, oh, what we do is we go L, because that means you want to go to lunch. Now, if you, but this won't happen, you won't see a finger unless you also have an Apple Watch, then you will get an L drawn in the same speed and way as the person drew it on your watch. Little haptic buzz, too, to let you know to look at your watch, otherwise you wouldn't know. But here's the other thing. 2 taps, and it sends my heartbeat, boom, 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 to you. And because the watch has a little, they call it taptic vibration in it, you'll feel my heartbeat. I can also send taps, so I can go tap, 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 tap. That could be a code.
Oh.
Or we could play dominoes. Tap, 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 tap. And you'll get exactly in that order, on feeling it on the back of your wrist as well as seeing it on the screen. Tap, 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 tap. Why did I launch into this?
I don't know. I said there was no news, but
Get ready for the Apple Watch, my friends.
But I have a few questions. First of all, you're not even wearing a watch now.
Okay, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Yes, I do.
It's a long story.
Tell it with a Storehouse, with photos.
No, I didn't charge. Okay, so I normally wear an Android Wear watch because I actually like Android Wear. I have the Moto 360, and I carry an Android phone, so you know you can't.
Right, and I've already heard you we've already offered the Moto 360 to someone when you get your Apple Watch. I heard it. It wasn't me that got offered it.
I want it back. No, I have another one. I have an extra. I have a spare. But I didn't charge it last night. So, and this is going to be a problem with an Apple Watch too. I can't wear it. I woke up in the morning and I said, oh, the watch is in a nice little charger. Oh, I must have left it when I was watching TV. Do you ever do that? You're wearing a watch. Yes, you wear a sport watch.
Yeah, I do.
You take it off because, you know, it bothers you while you're watching TV. I did, and I left it there. And so I got up, I put it on the charger, but it wasn't ready. It went by the time I left. So that's something you have to do with the Apple Watch too. You got to remember, these are not like your Pebble or like your Bulova. These have to be charged every night when you go to bed.
This is not a Bulova. It's a Timex. I'm pretty proud of it.
It's a runner's watch because you're a runner.
Yeah, I am. I ran 7.5 miles this morning. I'm feeling it.
You're such an overachiever. Are you training for something?
Yeah, I'm going to run Beta Breakers.
Are you?
May 17th, yep.
Well, that's only 6 and some miles, right?
No, it's 9 or 8 and 7 and 7
I always
and a half.
stop at 6 miles.
Yeah, it's 7 and something.
No wonder I never got a
it's
medal.
12K, I think. It's a 12K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have fun.
I am. Yeah, I've done it before.
That's great. Do you wear a costume, or are you part of a centipede?
I'm part of a group. We are the Mother Cluckers, moms from Petaluma.
Oh, because it's a chicken and egg capital.
Yeah, we will dress like chickens.
So they call these centipedes where they have groups. Sometimes they're actually attached like a centipede, but you're not going to be attached to each
No. Some of us run, some of us walk, and we're
12K would be hard attached to
Yeah,
other
no, we won't be
people.
attached, but we'll be wearing chicken costumes and possibly T-shirts.
That's awesome. The Mother Cluckers.
The Mother Cluckers.
We'll look for that.
All right, so there was a little bit of other news. Well, there was this one, the iPad selfie stick. Did you see that? That
Yeah,
was
but
April
that's
Fool's
not
joke.
real. Oh,
that
thank
was an
God.
April Fool's joke.
Bad enough that we have selfie sticks. We saw a ton of them, didn't we, in San Francisco?
Yes, there were, and I had not seen any, and there were so many. That's what made me feel better about being on a Segway. There were so many people with selfie sticks.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Equally dorky.
That is not real.
You know what would really be
stick.
dorky is a selfie stick on a Segway.
Yes.
Or an iPad stick.
Yes.
That would be too heavy.
But earlier when you were talking about not taking pictures with your... Right, because you know that what also works is a selfie stick. Yeah, all these things, including your arm.
Yeah. Who did this? This is like somebody photoshopped this?
It was Slash Gear. Yeah.
That's good. I like it. Village Idiots is the title.
Yeah, so that was the news, but we do have a question.
Let's hear it, because I'm ready to answer.
All right.
Is it an Ask Leo question or an Ask Megan question?
Maybe he asked both of us. I think actually he asked you and Sarah, but I don't know the answer. But maybe you do.
Actually, I don't think I do either, but let's listen.
Okay. Charles from Glasgow, Kentucky asks, my 4-year-old watches TV shows that I've purchased through iTunes on my iPad mini. The TV shows are not downloadable, but in the iCloud. He keeps them in the iCloud.
Right.
Since I only have less than 16 gigabytes available. When he watches them, I notice my space gets reduced by every video he watches, but the show is not downloaded. So he wants to know, why does this available storage go down when he's not streaming. He's just watching something from the cloud, like
It
it's streaming.
is caching it, and it has to do that. In fact, in some cases, when you buy a movie or a TV show, it won't play right away, right? You know, in iTunes, you'll say rent and watch. But there's going to be a period of time where it's downloading enough of that movie to start playing. And what it's actually doing, you've all seen buffering, it's getting ahead. And so it's based on how much bandwidth Apple thinks you have. It's watching as you start to download. It'll have to download enough so that it can continue to play without stuttering or buffering. You don't want stuttering or buffering, and the kid would not like it either. So that is being stored to your, it has to be stored to your iPad storage. And it's my guess that they probably, to save bandwidth, store the whole show. So they store the beginning. They could throw it away, as the buffer away as they go, but I would guess they store the whole show. Reason being, you're renting it for 24 or 48 hours. If you want to watch it again, it'd be a lot better from Apple's point of view if you didn't download it again. It uses up their bandwidth. That costs some money. So it's cached. You can watch it again. There's no buffering. It plays back just fine. It should, though, erase itself after a while. It's in the temporary cache. So yeah, you will see a reduction in the amount of storage you have. It might be fairly significant if your kid watches a bunch of shows. But in theory, after the rental period it goes away, it shouldn't be watched anymore.
Yeah.
You could see what's using space. It's really easy to do if you go to your settings, general, and then usage. And in usage, there's actually a lot of useful stuff. We show this all the time. They now have an iOS 8 battery usage. But you'll see, and this is, I'm sure, how he knows it's using space, because it'll show you what's used, what's available. But when you press Manage Storage, it actually loads in all the different things that have storage and what they're using.
Is that in order of how much storage? Like,
yeah.
So that Wall Street Journal takes up a lot.
Yeah,
The New
so that's
Yorker.
another good example, right? It's storing back issues. I don't actively ask it to do so, but it stores those. New Yorker's a little different. With the weekly magazines, you actually download the magazine before you can read it. But the daily paper, but it still requires quite a bit of storage space.
And if you click on that, could you adjust the settings so it doesn't?
You can. You can do one thing. You can delete the app.
Don't do that.
That's it.
I'm surprised that takes up so much space.
Yeah, this might be why you want to look at this, especially, you know, this is a big one. This is a 128 gig iPad. But if you have a smaller memory storage and you've loaded it up, generally every app will store some data. So, for instance, I don't think the Google Sheets app is a big app, but it has 184 megabytes of documents and data, 10 megabytes. The app size, 173 megabytes. So they add that together to give you the total usage, so you can see. And this is the stuff that's just being cached, because as you know, Sheets is not offline. This is online Google Drive usage.
Oh, don't delete it.
Don't delete it.
Don't do it.
I wish you could clear the cache on this one.
Yeah. Well, I just discovered, and I talked about this on i5 for the iPhone, that you can. That I didn't change that setting in the iCloud so that it was saving my pictures in iCloud, but also saving them on the device.
We should talk about that, because that's new.
And yeah, because there's the new Photos beta.
Yeah.
That's
so
on the iPad
in
too.
order to use that, you have to have the latest iOS. And our advice is not to turn iCloud Photo Library beta on yet, because it doesn't really gain you anything until you upgrade to OS 10, 10.10.3, the newest version of Yosemite on your desktop. Then, what's nice is photos, when you take them, are stored in the cloud. Rene Ritchie, again, from MacBreak, explained this to me, and I'm glad he did, because I didn't understand this at all. Notice on these settings, there's optimize iPad storage, and download and keep originals, upload to my photo stream. And this explains it. This iPad is storing device-optimized versions. That means it's not storing the full quality version. That full quality version is automatically uploaded to your iCloud photo library. Turn on download and keep originals to store full resolution photos and videos on your iPad. I don't think you want this, okay? You do not want it to download and keep originals. You want it to optimize, unless you know you need the full quality photo for some reason. But generally speaking, once OS 10, 10.3 comes out, You'll probably want to turn on the iCloud photo library. I always worry about beta. You see, I have it turned on.
But you have it turned on,
Yeah, I always worry about beta, but you can turn it on now. And
but
then
you're not
this
getting
is,
anything now.
well, you are. No, you are.
You're getting that option. If you turn it off, you don't get that option.
Photos and videos, I'm going to turn it off, have not been fully downloaded, will be removed from this iPad. These items will still be available on other devices using iCloud Photo Library, okay? So I guess the advice now is probably to turn it on. I haven't had any problems with it. When you turn it on, notice it's uploading a picture. That picture I just took of you, it's uploading.
Right.
It will upload the full quality version, stored in the cloud on your iCloud, but it will keep a thumbnail in effect, something that's appropriate for your resolution, on the iPad. This saves space on the iPad. This is kind of what you want.
So it'd be different on your iPhone. It's going to be
I think it's the same.
Different.
Oh yeah, it's a different thumbnail.
device.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly right. It's not the full quality version. So I think for most people, you do want that. Now, one thing that's you're going to have to keep in mind is if your iCloud's starting to get full because you're backing up and putting photos and everything, you're going to have to buy more storage.
Right.
So that may discourage you from doing this.
Yeah.
This is going to be a little messy. Especially when 10.10.3 comes out and iPhotos stops working. It goes away. You now use the same Photos app on iPad and Macintosh, and there's a sharing thing that's going on, and there's this. And I think, remember when, maybe you don't, it was a big thing, when with iOS 8, they took away the camera roll initially. And everybody went crazy, no camera roll, no camera roll. It wasn't, nothing had changed, just the name.
Right.
They brought it back because it made people nuts. Well,
Yeah.
this is going to be kind of like that, where people go, but wait a minute, you're telling me I don't have my photos on here? Well, you have them in the cloud. It's going to confuse people.
Well, it kind of makes me nuts now just that they're called photos. Like, why not come out with a funny name? Like, were all the names taken? Why just photos? Like, it's confusing. It's like, oh, those are my photos.
Because you know what it is.
But I'm not talking about photos. It's photos TM. So, yeah, but, you know,
I
whatever.
think this is an example of how Apple works, which is, remember their motto is, it just works. They don't really, what they want is a system that kind of works as you would expect it to work without you doing anything. So they don't want you to look under the hood and say, well, what do you mean I don't have the originals?
That's just where my photos are, because it's called photos.
You see your photos? They're
Right.
there.
I'm going to call it
What more
monkeys,
do you
monkeys,
want?
monkeys.
Yeah.
All right, so I was telling you before, there's this pepper hacker. Have you heard of the pepper hacker?
The pepper hacker?
Well, it's
Wait a minute,
probably
wait a minute.
not
Is
real.
this is the pepper hacker?
Yes.
Bring families together. Dolmio hijacks.
It's an Australian company.
It's a pepper
This-
grinder.
Yes. It is. It looks like a
It
pepper
doesn't
grinder.
just season
Dolmio is
spaghetti. Wait a minute, what the hell's in there? There is pepper.
There,
There's
yes.
apparently a battery and some chips.
It shuts down all the devices.
And the TVs.
Yes.
Look, grind it and boom.
Frustrated mums. I'm a frustrated mum.
Are you?
Look, you're cooking
So
dinner.
pepper does come out.
You saw the pepper coming out.
It
Pepper comes out.
it has pepper in
and
it.
life comes back in. Look at all they're on their devices.
adds
They're-
spice to your
they're
food.
Like crazy, and the
Click.
Oh, what happened?
Things were thrown. Tempers were tantrumed. Wow. I don't have my internet. All my apps are deleted.
Even the dad is upset.
What happened to the TV?
And the mom just what? I don't know.
No.
Look how sad he
he's-
is.
He's going through withdrawal. He's got a monkey on his back. Wow. This is an April Fool's joke, I
Well,
hope.
I get it's an ad for this Australian tomato sauce company.
Oh,
but, you
eat
know,
more Dolmio.
Yeah. But it is cool. I mean, I get really frustrated. Like the part the audio you didn't hear. It's
You
like
would
this.
like to
Can
have
you-
this, wouldn't
yes,
you?
I would like to have this because it's like, you know, come to dinner, like come set the table, and then it's just. I love technology, but you know, you got to put it away at the dinner
You know, there's
table.
TV be gone.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
I remember that was way back in the day. That
Yeah,
you could
the
just,
screensaver's
yeah.
day. It was a remote control that just turns off TVs.
Right.
So if you go to a bar and you want to drink in peace and you don't want to watch the Final Four March Madness, and
Right.
everything goes off, and then they hit you with clubs and you
Well,
leave.
they don't know it's you. That's the thing.
Well, yeah. So you have it on your keychain. But that
It's passive aggressive.
it's
is what it
there's
is.
a whole bunch of things that you can call.
Right.
It also isn't going to work for a TV unless you're right there. And it's not going to turn off your internet. I don't know of any way that you could.
Turn off besides just unplugging it.
Yeah. Well, your router, you can. Almost everybody, and if you parent and you want to do this, we did this. At 10 p.m., the internet went off, And we did it by changing router settings.
Right.
Apple routers will do this. Most routers will do this, where you can say, and there's also something called an ACL, or an access control list in most routers, that will say, internet goes off for the kids at 10 p.m., but mom and dad can stay up late watching movies.
Right.
Things like that.
Yeah.
So I
interesting
recommend
idea.
that. Turn it off at dinner time. Just a black hole at dinner time.
Yeah. So we want to hear from you. You can write to us, right?
Yes.
At iPad today at twit.tv. I've got a lot of mail to go through. I really appreciate it. Leave us a voicemail.
We didn't get a voicemail this week, huh?
No, unless I'm not sure how to check the voicemail.
Would you go in the voicemail, though? Because Sarah, for how many years did Sarah do this show? For 5 years. Every time we talked about voicemail, she said, yeah, I got to fix that outgoing message.
Oh, what does it say?
I don't know. I've never heard it. Apparently, it's scary.
It's Google Voice, though, right?
It's something like that.
Okay,
so
that'll be
let's
on my
fix
list.
that and make it inviting.
Let's
Maybe
do
we'll
that.
get more voicemails.
Yes.
I'll tell you the rules. Don't say your whole name. Just say your first name and city. Say, hi, this is Leo from Petaluma. You got to get the question or comment into less than 30 seconds. Don't, because if it's so long, we can't play it. So 30 seconds, you wouldn't believe how long that feels when we play it back. So 30 seconds. So first name, city, 30 seconds to state your case. Goodbye. Thank you very much. I love you. I love you. I love you. You've got to say that at the end. And
You do not have to say that.
No, you don't have to say that. But I would love to have more voicemail. I love the voicemails. Or record a video and upload it to YouTube and just send us the link.
Right. Yes. All right.
Is it time?
It's time.
Birthday party time?
Yeah. This is the 5-year anniversary party of
The
the iPad. He's 5.
The iPad.
So what
we
do you
announced
do?
it was announced January 2010. We covered that announcement. It was so much fun. And it came out on April 4th it came out? 2010. So let's...
And this is a 5-year-old birthday party, so every 5-year-old wants a pony at their birthday party. So here's your pony.
Do I get to keep this?
Yes, of course.
It's
Here, I'll
it's
take
from the
some of these.
Champion
You take some of those.
Horse collection.
And yeah, that's the birthday party. I really know how to throw a party. Everyone says so. $3 at the dollar store.
What kind of horse is this?
It's a pony.
It's not exactly.
Happy birthday, iPad.
And with that, we begin our app caps.
Yes.
You didn't
Our
bring
app-
cake?
No, I thought about the cake. We discussed the cake, but you know, we don't need cake. We have
We
enough.
don't
We
need
celebrate
cake.
birthdays here all the time.
don't
Someone's
need
always
cake.
having a birthday.
So our
yeah.
app caps are where we pick our favorite app of the week, and we put on funny hats to celebrate
I'm
that.
afraid your hat. Oh, do you need another hat?
I popped my string. Wait, you have others?
Yeah.
Quick, get the spare. Apparently my head is bigger than the
Than a
average
5-year-old's?
5-year-olds. That's good. Do you have an app cap for
I
me?
do have an app cap. My
That's
app cap
annoying.
is
That is
very.
so annoying.
It is really.
You don't have the ones where they go out and come back, do you?
No.
I like
No.
those. Oh, I think boys like those more than girls.
Maybe. So, you know, I do another little show on this network called Tech News Tonight. And this show goes so long sometimes that I almost have no time. So this is why my app cap is Appy Geek. Have you heard of Appy
No,
Geek?
what
It's
is
a
Appy
news
Geek?
aggregator.
Oh, you can actually
So-
be doing your news
Yes,
while I'm doing mine.
So I gave it the topics that I like. I want to hear about smartphones. I want to read about Facebook. I want to read about Apple. And then it can show me the featured topics, my hot topics. And then I get all of the news in one place in this beautiful format.
That's
so,
nice. Appy Geek.
Appy Geek. So it's got Venture, Beat. Did you hear this? That you can now put divorce papers on Facebook. Judge allows divorce papers to be served on Facebook.
Served?
Yes, on Facebook.
Oh, that's cruel.
I know.
That's
Okay.
horrible.
Yes.
It was bad
Yes.
enough that you just, change your relationship status
Right.
to single.
Now you
you
can
just
get- yeah.
attach some divorce papers while you're at it?
Yes, my husband's not on Facebook, so then
you're
I'm
safe.
Yeah. So yeah, and you can also.
What if you
sort
never
them-
check? I never check Facebook. What if, I'm divorced and I don't even know it?
Well, luckily you work with your wife, so
Yeah.
you probably would see her other than
Yeah.
just on Facebook.
Yeah, right. That's a good point. In fact, that kind of does, well, I guess, yeah, it does raise the issue of, well, if you need to divorce somebody you never see, I guess that
Right.
would work.
That yeah.
Facebook would be the way to do it.
So it's
yeah.
got great sources, PC Mag, International Business Time. A lot of
Does
the
it have
sources that-
breaking news notifications? Because I love that.
Yes,
it does.
activate
It does.
notifications.
Yeah.
Or
See,
the-
I use CNN for that, but sometimes what CNN thinks is breaking news is not.
That's true.
So I need some. So this is good. I'm going to try this for my breaking news.
Appy Geek, and you can,
Geek.
you know, say what you can sort by the mood. So what kind of story the mood puts you in. I'm not actually sure what that means, but yeah. Wells Fargo, we
doesn't like the new Microsoft.
according to Business Insider.
Wow.
At 11:48 a.m.
So
yeah. What does that mean?
Huh?
I don't know, but yeah.
But
so
you've got to read that because it could be
read
good.
it.
Could be for
So
Tech News Tonight.
This is what the iPad is for.
It's beautiful.
It's like you sit on the couch, you look at your news, you do your work, and you call it a day, and then you don't have to get up off the couch. Appy Geek, it is free. Here is a list of sources. So I can remove sources that I don't want. Here's the main news sources, all good sources. Well, not all good, but mostly good.
Is the onion in there? Just take out the onion because I fall for those every single time.
You do? Oh,
Yeah.
I love the onion.
I know, but I believe them. That's the problem.
Right, and then the whole geek culture section. Board Panda, do you go there? I don't know what that
No,
is.
what's Board
I
Panda?
don't know, but you can get rid of, if you don't like Board Panda.
Oh, it's
you
in
can
there
get rid of
already.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get rid of the size. You
No.
know, you're like, oh, I don't know, some of these. So it's cool. I love it. Appy Geek, free.
Okay, let's blow a little horn for the Appy Geek. It's not big enough.
Where did you get that?
My horn grew.
Someone's always watching out for you.
I have to show you this because I don't know. Do you? We were talking about LastPass, and you want to set up LastPass, but you
Yes.
find it a little bit difficult.
On the iPad, yeah.
I have to say, with the iPad, with the finger, I now have the new iPad Air 2.
Yeah, I don't have
and
that.
I love the fingerprint reader. I feel like it's a more secure environment, but I still want to not only have good, strong, long passwords, that LastPass helps with that, but I want to have second-factor authentication.
Two-factor.
So passwords are something you know, right? I know my login and my password. But if you want to be even more secure, you can add another factor. There's 3 total factors. There's something you know, something you have, and something you are. Something you know is a password. Something you have would be your smartphone, and something you are would be biometrics. So we've got the biometrics, we've got the fingerprint reader. So the iPad really does a great job of that. But I'd like to have 2-factor, and one of them would be something I have, and that's using something called Google Authenticator. You know about Authenticator? So when I have 2-factor on Google, Microsoft, Tumblr, Evernote, LastPass, I have to come up with a 6-digit code. That code could be texted to me, or you could be running an authenticator program on your computer that will then give you that 6-digit code. I was using Google Authenticator for the longest time until I found Authy, and I really like this. This is free, it is safe, and the way Authy works, let me show you here, is it generates these codes for you. I've got LastPass, I've got Gmail, I've got Microsoft, Tumblr, we use Slack, so I have all of those. You can add other accounts too. The way you'd add an account, you need to give it a secret number. So when I set up 2-factor authentication with Google, it's going to give me a long secret number. The way the authenticator works is it mushes the secret number and the current time together to generate a 6-digit code. The reason that works is because Google, at its end, knows what time it is, can do the same calculation, knows what my secret number is, and says, well, if Leo knows this code, then it must be Leo. This is going to identify me uniquely. So I've entered the password already. Now I'm going to enter the 6-digit code, and Google's going to say, okay, you've authenticated. But there's a couple of problems. First of all, adding a code. You don't really want to add that long number. So typically, you'll use a QR code. This is nice. Authy, like others, you could enter the key manually. That's what they look like. I wouldn't do it. Authy, like others, will let you scan the QR code using the camera on the iPad. Once you scan the code, all the QR code has is that long identifying number. It will add that account to your authenticator accounts. But here's the nice thing. We all have more than one device. Authy will work on your desktop. It'll work on a Chrome, Macintosh. It'll work on your iPhone as well as your iPad and on Android. And it allows you to have one Authy account that synchronizes across all those devices. So this has always been a problem for me. I set up a new phone, I have to go back, I have to change my number, secret number for everything. It's a real pain in the butt. Or I have to somehow save my secret number or save the QR code. What I've been doing is actually taking a picture of the QR code and saving it into LastPass. This is a better way of doing it. Authy synchronizes across all your passwords. You have your own, by the way, passphrase and your own Authy ID. You can absolutely control, you know, I mean, it's great. You can even use this Bluetooth token is coming, which is going to be very interesting. And you see how many devices now I'm using Authy on Chromebooks, in the Chrome browser, on my desktop, on my iPhone, on my Android phone, a couple of different Android phones, and on the iPad. So multiple devices, which makes it much easier. I've set up Authy once, and it works on all of my devices. What else?
So you have it
kind of a nice ease of use. One of the things, huh?
You use it on LastPass.
No, you can use it for LastPass, but it would. So if I go to my Google account, I log in with my name and my password, and then the next step, because I've turned on two-factor, is okay, open your authenticator and give us a 6-digit code.
Okay.
These are one-time codes. They're only good for 30 seconds. So the theory is, unless somebody has access to your physical access to your device, they won't be able to enter this code. So it's a second factor of authentication.
So you can't use this unless you have second factor.
So, but because it's so easy to use, it really means turn on two-factor on Evernote, on Tumblr, on your bank, if your bank allows it. Wherever you can, turn on two-factor. Sometimes my bank, for instance, isn't in here because it sends me a text message with this 6-digit code, which is, you know, also good. It's not a bad way of doing it. But I really like this, and I feel like Authy is a very nice solution. If you've been reluctant to turn on two-factor, download Authy, put it on all your devices, not just your iPad. Turn on multi-device support. You will have to give it a good, strong, long passphrase to unlock it, because these are encrypted. That's so that nobody, even Authy, can't get these numbers. I'm showing my number now because it's safe, because you'd have to have my password.
For 21 more seconds.
Yeah,
Someone would have to run in, grab your iPad.
Has one other feature that I like over Google Authenticator. It has a copy button. So I just copy this to the clipboard, and now I can just go back to my web browser or my application and paste it in. If you use two-factor, you should get Authy, and if you don't use two-factor, you should get two-factor. It really is the right way to do it. And it's nice. Authy has little icons, so it makes it very easy to pick it. A-U-T-H-Y. It's free.
I like it.
And it's my app cap.
Yeah.
And that is iPad Today.
It is. We should, instead of howling, we should just do this at the end of the show.
Okay, from now on, we're just going to do this. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. We do iPad Today at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern Time. That's 21:30 UTC every Monday, live.twit.tv. But you can also download it. Right. Do that. And you already said the place, twit.tv/IPT. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Happy birthday.
ClickTrack says, I've always hated the howling at the end. If you hated the howling, you were
time
to
to
hate
give
this.
it up.
Maybe we should just say, just no more howling or noises. Just go like this.